And in the course of your speech, you even brought up an issue which I also wanted to ask you about, alhamdulillah, based on the fact that you see so many, I also do counseling, and many times when couples come to me, it happens that some of the issues that lead to the breakdown of their relationship is intimacy, just like you said as well. And it's observed that men have a higher libido than women, right? And as men, we feel like, do we have to always ask? Because it makes us feel vulnerable, right? Which I don't see anything wrong with that. But women also feel like they are doing us a favor, you know. It's not like they are not also enjoying the action, you know. So this is why I am trying to ask: is it normal? Because you hear brothers saying like their wives are saying it's not food, you know. So what can you say about this, or how can we be able to resolve this issue, because it's happening in so many relationships, and I am glad you brought it up.
Okay, thank you very much, my brother. In the first place, we must understand that sex is very important. In fact, according to the scholars of Islam, it is more important than food. Then, even in one of the statements of one of the scholars of Islam, Sheikh Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he made us to understand the reason why sex is more important in a marriage even than food. Because if a woman or a man is hungry, he has some alternatives. He can decide to eat outside, and she can even decide to order for food stuff from her parents.
Restaurant, yeah.
I hope you understand. So,
Yeah.
as a man, as a woman, it is possible for you to get food elsewhere.
True.
But when it comes to sex, you cannot get it elsewhere. And that is why it's always important for couples to always try to cooperate with their partners when it comes to this matter. No. And we should understand that sex is not just meant to take place between husband and wife. It is something that we must get ourselves prepared for. It is something that needs to be done appropriately. You remember that the Prophet ﷺ said something that Inna Allah yuhibbu idha amila amalan an yutqina. One of the most precious things to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that when you want to do something, do it properly.
No.
So it is not proper for a wife to starve a husband. And it is not also proper for a man to starve the wife, because they cannot get sex from elsewhere. They can only get it from their spouses. These days, we have problem of economic meltdown, or let me say economic tribulations here and there. It's very difficult for men who have the opportunity under the Sharia to marry more wives. So many men only have the option of having sex with their wives. We are not talking about the situation whereby a woman is not fit to have sex. For instance, when she is going through the menstrual period, and when she is understandably sick.
No.
But apart from this, a woman should not begin to give the husband timetable of when you can have sex with her. No. This is not acceptable. It is not also acceptable for a man to always reject the attention or the need of his wife when it comes to sexual intercourse. Because if you don't give it to each other, this is one of the reasons, this is one of the factors that lead to zina. Although zina is not something that is justifiable, no amount of sex starvation justifies zina. But at the same time, we need to talk to ourselves and let us know that sex is important in marriage, and everything that is attached to it is also very important. And that is why in that book that we are talking about, so many topics have been discussed. To make us to understand that sex is not just about penetration.
No.
A lot of men these days, their attention is just to go in and come out.
Correct.
And this is not the best for our women. What we have just done in the book is just to present the plight of the women. There are some of these things that some of our sisters, they are not free to discuss them with their husbands. It's so strange that
MashaAllah.
the woman will be shy of the husband.
Correct.
And that's part of what we are saying, that couples should try their best to use the early stage of their marriage to make each other to be vulnerable. As a man, try to give your wife the license to be free with you sexually.
True.
So some couples cannot even talk seductively with each other. This is very wrong.
No.
So sex is beyond penetration, and when we are approaching our women, let us approach them properly. The Prophet ﷺ warned us against approaching them as if they are animals. No, we have to understand their plight. We should understand what they want and give it to them appropriately. May Allah continue to make it easy for us.
Ameen. Jazakallah khair. I really appreciate the way in which you're linking it back to the Quran and the Sunnah, giving us scriptural evidences. I love the fact that you also mentioned that we shouldn't also look at women because, especially in our own parts of the world, maybe in Africa, we look at it when a woman is asking for intimacy, we look at it like maybe she's lewd or she's promiscuous, things like that. This is an abnormal thing. It's not right. So she also has a right to intimacy like you do. And you shouldn't be putting each other on schedules because, I know a couple that they say they only have sex only 2 times in a week. They have a timetable for it, something like that. It shouldn't be. So Jazakallah khair for that.